How's it going? I'm gonna wait for a few people to join real quick, and I gotta edit this little. Oh wait, I got my voice playing in the background. I gotta edit this comment section over here just to make sure people can see their comments. So the screen's gonna look a little weird for a split second. There we go. There's the YouTube chat. Right, I'm just gonna put it out. I guess I could shrink this a little bit more. There we go. That should be fine. Let's see. Okay. Sweet. One second. Getting a few people joining. I'm gonna see if I move this, if it'll I don't know if it's gonna affect the live stream. How about to try this? Sorry guys, I should have been prepared, I know. But you're gonna have to just work with me over here real quick. I was doing a lot of work, I was super busy when I started the live stream. Okay, is that, go down with it. Okay, the screen's gonna cover, or the chat's gonna be covering up some of the screen there. So if somebody wants to comment on it, I will just I'm just gonna make it slightly transparent, the chat, sorry, really quick. Just so it's a little easier to see. Let's see, filters. Let this be it. I think this is it right here. About to try this. Hopefully it works. Okay, I think this is it. We're adding it right now. Hang on. Sharpen Luma key. Let's see, how visible is that? And you can still see your chat, but or see your like comments. Maybe that right there. That should be okay, just for right now. Okay, perfect. But I can see your guys' chat on the other monitor I have next to me. If you guys can, please like the video and then also comment if you want to for the YouTube algorithm. I just it'll push the video out to people's recommended, so it'll basically get more attention. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, first of all, of course, SPY. I mean, obviously, SPY is going to be the main one to go to here because that's the one we mostly trade is SPY. Now today, we had a absolute great day with SPY. The small account challenge, not so great, but overall, there wasn't one red trade that I took on my other account, which was awesome. I think a total of for you in Discord, you guys saw the statements in Discord, but I took a total of like 18 or 19 trades, and every single one of them were green today. I also cut yesterday in yesterday's live stream. If you guys were here, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was talking about Microsoft, me being up on Microsoft, 86%. And I said I was really wanting to cut a 100+% profit. Today, I actually did that. Not right here, but I actually did it here in the morning. I actually cut a 110% profit on Microsoft. So I literally doubled what I invested, a little over doubled whatever I invested. So I invested 16K into Microsoft, and that means I literally this morning, when I cut that 110% profit, I made like 17.3K. So $17,300 on Microsoft, just swing trading it. I was swing trading it from up here. I bought puts 139.73 here. It was at the end of the day this day. Pushed up a little bit and then started ripping down. I wish I could have got up here. I did see it and call it up here. I caught it up here a little while ago whenever it was pushing around this area. I was like, okay, around that resistance, it's most likely going to reject due to that 4 hour. 4 hours showed that previous 4 hours showed that previous resistance and support. So every time it hits the resistance, it heads, yes, it's shaky. It goes up and down. One day you'll be down a lot probably, but overall, as long as it comes back down to its support, and most of the time it does. So odds are in your favor. I had this on my screen yesterday. I have not changed any of my charts, and check it out. It came up and it's trying to resist on my med line here, which is my average. So basically how it's working is anything below my line there is below average. Anything above it is above average. So think of it as buying a Jeep. If you want to buy a Jeep at this dash line, like the dash line is the average Jeep price, right? You're going for, let's just say $150,000. I know that's outrageous, but I'm just saying, it's like an incredible luxurious Jeep or something, or a Lamborghini. You're wanting to buy a Lamborghini at a solid average price of 200,000. Below average is 100,000. Above average is 300,000. So if you're wanting to buy calls, why would you buy up here at $300,000 when you're paying way too much for the Lamborghini, knowing that obviously it comes down to $200,000 to $100,000 eventually? It's like, just be patient, wait for that good deal, snag it up, because then you can sell at least at average if you wanted to do calls. And that's just the way the market works there. It's business cycles. Good deal, bad deal. And then one thing I wanted to go over really quick, because some people are probably, a little worried about this one. I think, honestly, it still has room to come down. It might even come down tomorrow to repeat this bottom here. But after it hits that bottom, it could be a good call to push itself back up. If you guys want a really interesting call, this is a signal, basically, that I'm giving people. And, of course, 100% every single thing on my videos or anything I say on Discord, YouTube, or anything, everyone knows this. I even have it on my business cards. Everything is my opinion. 110% my opinion. You lose money, it's your fault. Nothing had to do with me. So you're just taking in my advice and my opinion, and just basically taking that as a sole indicator. Technically, I'm your indicator, basically. There's no confirmation that I'm going to be correct. Like, yes, most of the time my callouts are correct, but I can't predict the future, so there could be times that it's not. So one thing I wanted to show you guys, though, right here, is work. I've been watching out for work. Now, I know, first things first, people are going to be like, okay, descending pattern, a descending pattern. This is the 4-hour overall descending constantly, which is a very consistent descending pattern. Now, I actually think calls would be good in this. I know this sounds crazy because it's descending, and why would you invest swing trading into a descending pattern with calls? If anything, it would be puts, because overall you'd be up. So if you bought like a 14-day expiration, so if you bought, I would buy below average. Would you? Would you? Yeah, I don't think you would, Jeffrey. I'm just kidding. No, you would. But so yeah, I think that, for example, I have a price target of around $23.50, so $23.50. Now we're setting at the moment at $20.86. Tomorrow I might be too late. Today actually should have been the day I would have bought in on. I should have bought in on this. Tomorrow, I'm going to invest into swinging work. This one right here, yes, it's decaying. Every time it's below, look at the past patterns. Every single time it's below its EMA here, and it's overextended to this length. Remember, what is your average overextension? How much does it, what is the past patterns? When it's typically this overextended, this big of a gap between the EMA, is that when it starts to push back up? Or, where's the good deal at? Your EMA is your exponential moving average, for anyone that doesn't know. My whole team on Discord is like implanted with good deals now. But your average, you want to buy below average. So if it's overextended below its average, you're getting a good deal. So that's why it pops right back up. Because the market's not just straight down. It's up, down, up, down, up, down, overall in one direction. But basically, it's overextended, retested, overextended, retested, overextended. But look how low it's going, right? So it went up here, fell, broke lows more, and now it's trying to break lows here. It should have continued to break lows. Instead, it didn't. It already showed this sign of consolidation right here. This green candle wouldn't have been my confirmation, but I would have took it in for an indication that, wow, it could be turning around. That second green candle there definitely did it for me. That green candle that we got today kind of confirmed that, in my opinion, it confirmed a consolidation trend. What I'm expecting for market open is maybe it'll push up overnight, or maybe to open kind of high, but I want to try to get in or squeeze in around $20.85. Again, if you are wanting to swing this, and this is one of my little call outs here, if you're wanting to swing this, what I would do is I would recommend buying a, let's see, what is the really far out expiration, but not too far out, but we're talking like half a month, so like 15 days expiration. I was about to go look at the trading grid real quick, the option chain. So I'm going to put price target. Yeah, okay, I'll just put that. So price target here, and I'll show the price on the right, show the name on the right too, and I'll put dashed lines in green for price target. Well, actually, let's go with red, because I'll be selling there. It's going to be a call again. So a call to, it's probably going to hit 24 bucks, but I would say 23.50 to play it safe. Not only that, I feel like, in this case, you could, from it's a very cheap ticker. It's a very cheap stock. So $20 compared to what we usually trade, $200, almost $300. Technically, it's at 300 right now. So it's it's a little cheaper. So I think that whenever it goes to push up here from, if you got in at basically $21 roughly, so around this price, if you got in at 21 and you end up selling, like when I say buy far out, it's because if it does end up going sideways, you never know. You're still going to be able to cut the profit if it does end up going up overall. And if anything, worse comes to worse, you'll probably end up breaking even if you have to, if it shows too much weakness to go up. But I don't think that'll be an issue. But yeah, I think you can cut from 23.47. Let's see, the options on 9-day, I would buy the 16-day. So swing trading. So this says these contracts are worth, value, and the expiration is 16 days. So within, if 16 days passed and it was the 17th day, they would no longer be valued. They wouldn't be worth anything. They would be absolutely worthless, as in you would lose everything inside of it if you didn't sell after 16 days. Just in case I'm sure everyone knows that. But yeah, so I think we're getting 50-cent intervals here. So if you were to buy 21, right? Let's just say you still do not have to buy 21 just because it's at the price of 21. But let's just say I would probably honestly buy, just my opinion, I'd buy 19 probably. So let's just say we buy 19, right? So if we buy 19 here, then one thing let's see. So the 19 strike, we got the 16-day expiration. I was about to say, that's a little cheap for 16 days. Wow, yeah, this is a super good, oh, these are putts. Sorry, guys. Been a long day. I wasn't even focusing. Okay, I literally have been, like, putting all day. As bad as that sounds. Actually, I've been doing a lot of calls on my larger account. Let's see, where is the... All right, so I would probably go with maybe a 55 cent, I guess. I would be tempted for the 45 cents. I would be tempted for that. I have noticed one thing. These move in it's 5 cent like intervals with the price itself, like 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, or 45, 55, 65. So that's something to watch out for. But either way, I think we'll be able to profit. So I think I would buy the 23.50 strike. So if it went from $21 to $23.50, that's a coincidence because I'm not buying this strike because that's where my price target is. I could buy this one if I wanted to and still profit, probably even more. But if it ended up going to $23.50, it would move from 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would move 5 strikes down. So if I take this right here and go 5 strikes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically speaking, that 45 will be worth somewhere around this strike right here because that's the value around that strike. Of course, it could even be up here if it's closer to 24. So probably like $1.25 is what that 45 cents could turn into. And just it turning into 90 cents would be 100% profit of whatever you invest. So yeah, that's something to kind of watch out for there. LOL. If you guys have any tickers, comment them in the comment section. I will definitely go over them. Let me go over DAL real quick. DAL typically falls during earnings. What did I say? I was going to buy some puts here, and I believe, let's see, I did buy puts here, and I cut a little, I think it was a 29% profit. Yeah, because AMD was 16%, I believe. It might be the other way around. But I cut a profit here. It pushed on up. This right here was really, this was predictable. Not only was there a descending resistance, I had it drawn. You can't really see it here, but on the day trade chart, you can see the descending resistance. But it typically falls. I even had this written in last night's live stream before this happened. It typically falls or gaps down or something on its earnings because its earnings, it really, it doesn't like make its investors very happy, I guess you could say. It kind of, I don't know. So basically, this thing kind of gapped down here and started to push down towards, I would honestly say 53.24 would be a little risky. That's where I would personally sell somewhere a little higher maybe, but it would still be a little risky, a little more aggressive. But if you bought way up here, then, you could even sell at an average, because see how it stopped here? Technically speaking, it can also stop there and go back up. So, if that's like towards your average price, it wouldn't be a bad area to cut profits. So if you got in up here and it opened down here, then that wouldn't be a bad area to cut your profits. Not a bad area at all. Let's remove that. I made on my total investments today on my larger account, I made almost, actually I think it was over 200% profit because I calculated 179% and then I made another 34% and then Yeah, it was over. It was over 200%. That's not on the entire account, but that's in every investment added up, like percentages added over 18 trades today that I made. Uh, Absolutely killed it, and most of those were actually calls, surprisingly, on SPY, AMD. So AMD is basically the same as Microsoft. I think Jeffrey, you're in the YouTube live stream, I believe. I think you're still in here. But we both got in on this push down here. I believe I sold somewhere around this area here. I put it at this. When was that? Was that Monday? No, it was Friday. No, yeah, no, it was Monday. So I put it at Monday up here, and it started to push down. I sold here just for the safety because it did not have to keep going down. I saw that 110% just it falling here was extremely like that would be extremely good. So I sold at 100% profit, as in not 100% profit, but as in like 100% push down of its previous push. So pushed 100%, fell 100%. So it was not really accepting this price. Therefore, this could be a good put coming on up. The 4-hour, you don't really want to focus too much on any directional indicators or anything like that. In fact, I like to clear my charts when I'm looking at this. But see how the MACD is at a high level? Looking at the levels over here, not the way it's pointing. I know it's pointing down, but sometimes when it's pointing, whenever it's going up, like it's pointing down right here, it's pointing down, but yet price stayed sideways during this whole time. It was pointing down and then started pushing back up. So it doesn't matter which way it's pointing, it's the level it's at. Is it at a typical high level or a typical low level based on past patterns? So if your past patterns are telling you that MACD tends to turn around in this area, tends to turn around in this area, tends to turn around in this area, this area, this area, this area, why in the world would, it's almost like a giveaway. You don't want to trade upon an indicator though. Use this indicator with this indicator's past patterns, with price actions past patterns, with it being a good deal below its average price. So if this indicator is telling me, okay, it's at a typical bounce area, this is oversold for a good deal because it's below average. The EMA, the price is below average, then that's good. If price action is telling me that that when it broke lows here, it didn't break lows as aggressive as it usually does. It just went to this descending pattern, created green candles, fell down. Did not want to break this because of this green candle here. It showed that there were some buyers here. I didn't want to continue to break lows really. More green candles, fell down. More green candles, and then 100% fall, 100% recovery. The next time it fell back down to that support, pushed up aggressively. 100% push, 100% fall. So next time it pushes up to around this resistance area, it's probably going to come right back down. So again, like I said before in last night's live stream, every single time it tends to hit these areas, it tends to come back down to the next little green box that I drew. So, and it doesn't have to, eventually there's going to be a break. So you got to keep your eyes out. You can't just, blindfold yourself and trade it. Let's see. I'm going to add the 3 indicators there. What's the other one that I was going to look at? It was work, DAL. Oh yeah, Microsoft. Oh, I already went over it, but what is the other one actually? Look at past patterns on the MACD with Microsoft. Typically in this area, it tends to start pushing up. So it's something to watch out for. It's most likely not just going to push like right off the bat, but it's something to definitely keep an eye on. That's why earlier I said that it could come back down a little bit here with a wick and then start pushing, trying to push back up to double top or to break its resistance. Zoom out. I want to go to, let's see. All right, Shopify. Seeing shop, it honestly looks like it's getting ready to try to turn around, but I'm going to set my alerts for when it hits this area here, because tends to reject the EMA. It tends to reject it actually quite a bit. Whenever it starts to, become a good deal and it starts to try to recover on up, it tends to actually just, it didn't really recover like it needed to, so it could fall a little more. And then with that said, if you were to try to find a pattern, so what you do is predict, try to predict the future. So get your price target. That's the first thing you do. I know this sounds like kind of stupid, but you want to get your price target. And yes, you can use support and resistance or past patterns or whatever, of course, because that's how you get an accurate like rating basically. If you get your price target, you then can say, okay, if it were to fall to that price target. So if I were to say, okay, I think it might be able to fall here because it's a past resistance, and when it broke, it used it as a support 3 times. Very nice. If I think this is my price target, then where you can almost get your time frame by doing this too. I do this a lot. You can get your descending resistance basically and descending support, or vice versa. So if there is a descending resistance, which looks like there actually kind of is there. I know it's going through those candles. I know. That's not how things work, because look, 100% push, 100% fall back down. This area was not accepted. This was fake out. This was a fake out area. It technically resisted this descending resistance, because something doesn't just push 100%. If it would have actually came over and held and then started breaking previous candles highs above here, then it would have been acceptable. Come back down and make a lower high or a higher low and then a higher high. But in this case, it fell back down below its resistance, closed, pushed back up, and then rejected again. Pushed back up. That would have been a good put, because obviously based on past patterns, it rejects this resistance. But yeah, I mean, overall, definitely bullish. But here, coming up within the next, to the end of the year, it might not be so bullish. But let's see if we can get a descending support there. So what I'm trying to say is, if it does come up and hit its EMA here and reject, it could come on down and hit around this area here. So then I would draw a little oval. This is how I get my price targets with time frames, right there. So of course this is its support and resistance. You can delete it, you can keep it there, it doesn't matter. But overall, this is its descending resistance and descending support. So if it bounced here, pushed up, came down off the resistance, bounced here, pushed up to its resistance, came down, it's probably going to come to its support somewhere here, and then it's probably going to push up and either break out or push up, reject, and push down. But yeah, that's kind of just did a breakdown how you get a time frame target basically. Then what other ticker was there? There was another one. There's a few of them that we were talking about earlier. I did want to check out BIB real quick. Absolutely an insane ticker. I cannot believe what happened. What happened with this thing? It went from $225, pushed all the way up to $325. $100 push, and I guess the earnings did help out a little bit, but it wasn't even really that. It was news based. Something about a reversal on the something they released. I think something to do with Alzheimer's. I'm not really sure what it's to do with, but I know it was news based and it pushed it up. One of my good friends got in on this. He made 10,000% on an option call. He turned $1,000 into like $29,000. I think that's what the thing said. 29,000 from 1,000 and one trade overnight. He was sleeping and didn't even know he made 30K. Literally $30,000 and just a snap when he woke up. Like, could you imagine going to bed, dreaming basically, waking up and you're 30,000 richer? Like, nice. That's what's up. My Microsoft put that I swung and made 110% profit on today. That was over a course of, I believe, like 4 days. I could be wrong on that. It might be a little bit longer, but I think it was about 4 days. Resistance here, breaks, holds, bounces, technically kind of bounced there and bounced. Looks like Amazon is holding this area. I was thinking it was going to do this too. I think I said this in last night's live stream too. But we kind of caught out this push here because it broke its descending resistance. Or no, it was its ascending support, sorry. Yeah, we were talking about this in last night's live stream. It was its ascending support here. And when it broke it, it started curling. And we're like, okay, it could come up and touch that as a resistance, retest its old support. And it did that and came back down. Now I know it looks kind of, it's like, okay, is it bearish? Well, you ask yourself a simple question. Is there a support nearby? Of course, support and a resistance, very nice one actually. And then ask yourself, is it breaking lows? Because if it's not breaking lows, then the only place it's going to go is up. But look at this. It fell 100%, recovered 100%. Fell again 100%. Why, if it were to be in a downtrend, why is it not breaking lows? A downtrend is lower lows and lower highs. So technically, that is lower lows and lower highs, but why is it holding here? Why are these two green candles here? Why is this green candle here? In a downtrend, you get red candles, right? And then you get a push and you get a break, more red candles, and it breaks lows. And even at that, it's still pushed here. But like, look when it's actually consistently trending down. You get a downtrend, red candles. You get a little bit push here, of course, because it can't just keep trending down. A push here, reject from its average price, the EMA, and a push down. Look how aggressive it broke lows. That's why the downtrend continued. But look how it starts getting less aggressive the more it breaks lows. It started to show this curl. Eventually, it did 100% push, 100% fall, and then it did a push here, push down, and then 100% push back up. So instead of breaking lows here to continue its downtrend, it actually pushed back up right where it started falling from. So it started falling here, it pushed up, and basically went right back to the place it just fell from. That's a reversal sign. So that gives that indication there too. But in this case, I'm going to set a price target real quick on SPY. And I'm doing this just so you guys can go back to these videos and see that I caught it out. I need a way to kind of, this sounds so bad. I need a way to kind of like, I guess like a video diary almost, like so we can go back and look at it and say, okay, look, this is what I said about it. This is where I said my price target was, and all that. I mean, I do it in my Discord, so it should be fine, but still. So I think we're getting a slight bull flag here. So similar to this right here, I'm going to have to delete these coefficients though. Really quick. Okay. So we could be getting a slight bull flag here, like this. Well, the pole is kind of green there. So yeah, and I don't really agree with bull flags in my opinion, just because I don't like trading upon patterns really like solely like, oh, it looks like a flag and then it's going to make another flag and stuff like that. I look at really like the higher low pattern. Higher highs and higher lows are bullish, lower lows and lower highs are bearish. So if it comes up and breaks highs, I would expect the next pattern to be, because that's a bullish trend to break highs. It broke previous highs, that's bullish. That means there probably will be a higher low coming in. Because a higher high happened, it only works with higher highs only work with higher lows, is how I look at it. So when a higher high happens, I expect a higher low to happen, meaning it doesn't need to go this low. It would be higher than this low. It would be up here at this area. So it would be a higher low to push up and break higher highs again. Until, again, it stops breaking highs so aggressively. Because look how aggressive it broke highs here. Like it pushed up very aggressively. Why would it not at least have a retest at the top to show it can't break? Because it was so aggressive, there should be no reason it's not going to. And then look at this. It's not breaking lows here. It held this price. So if it held that price there, then what I'm thinking I'm seeing is almost like a cup and handle. Cup and handle. But it could be just bull flag, but either one. So like, see, this one did the same exact pattern, same exact thing, pushed up and made it this descending kind of pattern here, and then pushed up to retest its high. It showed it could not break and then came back down. In this scenario, we got a different scenario here. Notice this was at a high price, this is at a low price. This could definitely push on up to peak this area again. So I'm going to set my price target $1,840. I say, let me go here, and boom. I'm gonna set this here. Can I actually edit the rectangle? I don't know if it'll let me show extension. Oh, it doesn't. But I'll name it here. I'm gonna say price target 10/23/19. So we got the date on there, and you guys can see it. And then I'll set my alert here, just so I can, whenever I live stream, I'll mention it if it goes off. Price. All right, there we go. So I got a price target of this in this area here around that 1830, 1840 area. I'd probably play it safe around that 1830 area because it has resisted the area before multiple times. I'd probably even sell a little bit lower than that, but overall I'd probably end up touching this price. I would say a good buy-in would be somewhere at 1749. So a good buy-in would be somewhere in this area. And then after this, I'll end the live stream. But yeah, so somewhere in this area here. I don't know why I reversed that, but technically this would be the buy, this would be the sell. I should have completely did the opposite there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got this. Sorry guys, I got OCD. I have to do it. Gosh, that's so annoying. All right, go down here. And I'm not gonna type all that. A dot. Why did it require me to name that? Oh yeah, okay, there we go. So I got my price target there. But yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream here. I've been live streaming for about 40 minutes now. I'm gonna try to keep them a little bit shorter because I tend to get zoned out and start looking at the market to where I lose track of time literally. But if you guys find value in my breakdowns, we're gonna look back at these to see. I got my alert set, so when it goes off, I'll mention it in the live stream. So to keep up to date, if you guys find value in the way I break things down, you can subscribe if you'd like to. We have a free Discord in the description below also for anyone that's gonna watch this afterwards. I'm gonna try to keep doing the live streams every single night. So I'll see you guys in the next live stream tomorrow around 9 p.m. probably, and I'm gonna wake up at 9 a.m. tomorrow and I'll be in the live voice chat. So yeah, I'll see you guys.